live stream these, so a whole bunch of people hopefully will be here any moment and coming into the Zoom room. But for now, you have me basically all to yourself, which means that you can ask me any question that you want, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. And if I can't answer it, you're basically just one person displaced from getting your answer. So I host these lives. Well, I try to do it every week. Sometimes it's every other week if I want to take a Friday off or hang out with family or whatever. But my wife has an event going on downstairs for her business, and so I figured, well, shoot, I may as well have an event upstairs for my business.
Right. There we go.
Yeah,
What does your wife do?
She sells hair care and skin care products, and she's
Ooh.
really good at it. So we have a whole bunch of ladies downstairs. They're all snacking and drinking mimosas, and in a little bit, they're all going to get their hair washed and then blowout cream and curls and pictures and content and all of this stuff, you know.
Oh my gosh.
So
Well, I might have to go downstairs.
yeah.
To get my hair. I need help.
You showed up to the wrong party. Just kidding. So here is the real estate stuff. You know, I don't really get into much of her hair stuff. She helps me on the real estate side quite a bit with some logistics and admin and payroll and things like this. But when it comes to the real estate side, actually, she knows how to do everything. She was a marketing manager. She was a lead manager. She was a deal analyst. She was a acquisition manager. She was a transaction coordinator, the project manager. She was the realtor. She was the interior design. I mean, I'm literally telling you, she did absolutely everything in our business. And she did that for 4.5 years. God bless her. And
and she gave it up to do hair, huh?
She, well, I'm going to be totally truthful with you. She did it out of necessity, not because she wanted to, but because I was active duty and I was gone all the time. I was in different countries. And so the business had to keep going, right? And we have all of these houses and they're in the middle. And so we would have to do as best as we could to facilitate like communication and where everything was in the pipeline. And sometimes it didn't work out for us, and it was hard, and there was miscommunications, and we would drop the ball or whatever. But largely we did pretty good with making sure that no balls were dropped, and we never lost any money, which is a good thing.
Oh, well, that's something to be said for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What branch of the Marines were you in? Because you were a Marine, right?
I was a Marine. Yep. I was in the Marines for 8 years. And during those 8 years, I was overseas 13 different times. So I was never home.
Wow. What area did you serve? Like my son's in the Marines. He's in the intelligence community.
Okay, cool. So
battalion.
Do you mean geographically or like what was my job?
What was your job?
I was a musician. I was a trumpet player. Yeah, so I got shuttled all around. A lot of my duties were it's called POW-MIA, which stands for Prisoner of War Missing in Action. And quite a bit of the Marines that passed away, I shouldn't say passed away, they were shot, they were killed in World War II. Shoot, here I am. I'm about to get demonetized because we're live freaking everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, and all these places, and I just said the K word. So dumb. Anyway,
sorry.
That's all right. It's not your fault. So I was in China, Japan, Guadalcanal, American Samoa, Tarawa, a bunch of Polynesian islands that you probably have never heard of. But we're still digging up the remains from those Marines going all the way back to World War II. As the Japanese came and they attacked us at Pearl Harbor, and we chased them all the way back to Japan. Well, in that chase, we were landing in different islands, right? And so there was a lot of casualties, and they were just buried, like mass graves. And so still to this day, we're recovering those fallen Marines and flying their spouses, their next of kin, out to Hawaii, which was my last duty station. We do a repatriation ceremony for them, and kind of give them some what's that word I'm looking for? Not closure, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep, that's
wow.
right.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I got to play for presidents and dignitaries and a whole bunch of different things, and
Nice.
it was awesome. We do a lot of um, obviously you're not always doing that. There's the green side of the Marine Corps as well with security detail, and so I have formal, military police training, and that was my secondary duty was guarding the gate, making sure that nobody was gonna, hurt our flag officer, which is our 1-star general. Um,
Mm,
it was fun. It was great. I loved every minute of it. I missed the Marines, but it was only good for a season. It's only good
right.
for a season. At the time, our kids were like really young, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. Growing up, and I was gone all the
Oh,
time. And my
right.
wife had to, every single time I'd come home, my wife had to reintroduce me to our kids,
Right.
and they're growing up without a father. I grew up without a father. My dad died when I was 8 years old, and the difference is here with my kids, I don't have the excuse of being dead. I'm alive, I'm
Right.
well, I'm choosing to live this lifestyle. And the cool thing about choosing to live this lifestyle is I can choose to live a different lifestyle, and
Right.
so I did. And that's where real estate investing came along, and I got
Nice.
my, whatever you want to call it, my financial freedom, my time freedom, my choice freedom. Now I get
Right.
to hang out with my kids as much as I want, work from
Nice.
home, play, take them to the
Yeah.
beach, hang
Awesome.
out. We live here in Florida, and we have a lot of fun. Anyway, so that's a little bit
So,
about me, and
what are you doing real estate wise now?
I
And Amy's
do.
got her camera on. Hi, Amy. She was waving at
Oh, hi.
us.
I have so many screens up in front of me. I have 5 screens up in front of me. It's quite overstimulating, let me tell
Oh,
you.
that's funny.
Yeah. So you guys are on this one, and I have a phone here and a phone here and a monitor here and a monitor there, and it's kind of all over the place. Anyway, your question was, oh, what do I do with real estate now? Well,
Uh-huh.
my first 4.5 years, exclusively wholesaling. All I did was wholesale.
Okay.
Then I got uh well, I'll just be very forthcoming. I got a little bit greedy, and I was kind of tired of these little 10, 15, $20,000 assignment fees. And I said, I can make a lot more money if I take title to these and I start flipping them and wrapping some notes, doing some owner finance and things like
Mhm.
this. And so I did. And for the next 4 years, that's all I did is big, flips and novations and owner financing out so that I can get some reps. But the fact of the matter was, for the first 8.5 years of my career, I sold everything. It's the biggest regret in my whole entire life. It's my only regret in my whole
Mm,
entire life, actually. If I had just held one in every four, one in every three, one in every
right.
two, every other house, if I just held one, I think 1 in 4 would have been fine, you know,
Right.
then my life would look drastically different right now. But unfortunately, it wasn't until almost 8.5 years into my career that I hold my first ever house. And that was
Wow.
2022. And so now I'm focused for the last couple of years. I'm only focused on acquiring rentals. Miss Amy, what you got?
So I do have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What we have 8 working on 9.
Rentals. Yeah. Hey, is your
And
husband coming by the way, or is his freaking camera still broken?
no, he's got other crap to do.
What a jerk.
he just said, "Oh, now I got other crap to do. If you need me to let you go on the phone, then I will."
All right. Whatever. I'll forgive him tomorrow.
Yeah. Anywho, he's actually at the place right now looking at the one unit that we're thinking about buying.
Cool. Great.
And he was walking me through on a video chat, and then we turned off video chat and we were chatting about other things, and our contractor driving me crazy. But I think the main question that we had is where, when you get to a seller finance and you're doing this and you're trying to keep a hold of them, but you get to the end of the note and it's time to refinance or sell it, basically is your only choices. What's the best way you found to do that? That's where we're stuck.
Let me just make sure I'm understanding your question. You're specifically talking about seller finance on the acquisition, meaning they have owner financed the house to me. Okay, cool. So let me ask you one more follow-on question here. How far into your ownership are we, and what is the problem that you're trying to solve?
We have 300,000 of equity sitting in this house that we'd like to get a hold of to go buy more.
What is the interest rate at with the
Five.
seller?
5 point.
It comes down to, do you care more about the interest rate or do you care more about the equity? Because you have $300,000 of equity, but you have to understand that the trade-off is going to be about an 8% DSCR loan and resetting your 30-year amortization.
Not really caring about the amortization. That don't bother me diddly squat.
Oh, really?
It's that interest,
Okay.
It's that interest rate that is like,
Yeah, so
it doesn't. You figure the property, we bought it at 180. We put 60,000 in rehab into it. And we have 3 different places that are renting on the property, and we're making 3,500-ish a month on that one property.
okay.
Our payment's 8.
I mean, my goodness sakes. I hear you where you want to tap into the $300,000 of equity because you could go out and you could buy 5 other houses, right?
Uh-huh.
And so if those 5 other houses justify the 3% jump in interest rate, you say that you don't care about the amortization, but Amy, amortization matters a lot. You are resetting the loan and you have just gotten past like all of that crazy interest bearing time. And you're finally starting to get down into almost an equal, principal pay down each month in comparison to your interest. And I hate resetting that. I hate resetting that. So I'm curious to know why, and her video is off now. So
I don't know what the hell. I hit some button. 1 second.
you probably got a call and.
It says I'm on driving mode. How the heck do I turn this off?
You have to swipe either from right to left or from top to bottom. Just there you go. All right, cool.
Okay.
Welcome back.
I do.
It was that cute little kitten stepped on your phone.
19. There's one.
So I'm curious to know why you don't care about the amortization, because the amortization, in my opinion, matters just as much as absolutely equal to that 3% bump in interest rate.
Well, I guess it's because we have no intention of ever selling it. So if we have the ability to keep payments made by the tenants in the 3 different areas that we have rented it, so in like a DSCR, it makes it real leery when you get to take and twisting it around if something happens or whatever, and it's $3,500 that they think, oh, you're making $3,500 on this.
Yeah.
But whereas if we had 300,000, because literally it appraised from our realtor friend, we didn't have an appraisal done yet. We were just CMA. They gave us numbers of similar things in comps, and it would appraise right at 580, and we bought it for 180.
Okay, you're 240 in though, because you put 60 in, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, we put our retirement into it.
When you say that, you didn't literally put your retirement into it. You put a 401k into it, right? You borrowed against your. Okay, that's good. That's great.
My other half had to use his retirement from being an electrician.
Yeah, fantastic. Good.
He had to. He was in the car accident, so he couldn't be an electrician anymore. So he had to, and now he does the managing of the tenants and the contractors, and I'm the one that works construction.
Okay. No, this is good. So I mean, I think that it's a wash. I say this a lot, that there is no right or wrong. It's simply right or left. You could ask 100 people, Amy, and 50 of them are going to say you should definitely pull out your equity. You're a fool to have so much equity untapped. You need to tap into that. Think about how much you could leverage and buy 5 or 6 other properties, so on and so forth. Whereas there's going to be the other side that has an equal footing with their argument, saying it would be preposterous to reset your note at the 30 years, even if you're going to hold on to it, because you've just got to the point where acceleration is really happening with your UPB, your unpaid principal balance. It's going down more and more and more every month. Whereas the first, golly, it's like the first 7 years, you're really not doing anything. It's almost like you're renting. You've hit that point. You're paying down your principal balance quite a bit, and that equity is going to get really big. And so why not wait till it's all the way paid off, then get a private money lender in there and then diversify and wait some more years.
I want to retire and I don't want to work construction.
Oh, okay. All right. This is good. This is a great factor. You want to retire and you don't want to work construction. Are you literally working construction like W-2? Oh my goodness.
Micron facility that we're building in Boise.
Oh my gosh. That is okay. So Micron, I'm a big fan. There's one in Texas. There's also one in Grant in New York. If you're not investing in that area, you need to be. It is a huge, huge investment potential. Massive. I personally believe that the one up in Syracuse, New York is the biggest investment opportunity that I've ever seen in my life.
Right now, we just finished, we're starting on the Fab 2. And then they've got the next building.
Cool.
It was years to build both of them. But the Micron stuff was at 800 last week, and it just jumped to 1,300 this week.
Yeah. I wasn't necessarily talking about Micron. I was talking about real estate. What's going to happen to real estate in that area within 45 miles? It's going to be massive explosion. Up in Grant, which is just right outside Syracuse, New York, upstate New York. I hate New York City, by the way. They're a bunch of freaking blue-haired liberals. But when it comes to New York, upstate, very conservative, super landlord friendly. We like them as real estate investors. Their laws are good, their judges are good, their sheriffs are good, their politics are good. Everything, it's great for real estate investors.
Just was in Boise. We bought the condo up here.
Yes, good. Boise as well, and same thing with where it's happening. I'm fairly confident that it's in Texas. For some reason, I'm not like 100% certain. Anyway,
no, those are typically that Meta facility. Also, I just finished that job.
Okay.
Hey.
Cool.
Anywho,
so yeah, real estate's going to massively grow. We're expecting property values to double within the next 4 to 5 years. Double within the next 4 to 5 years. I mean, I'm putting everything that I've got into Syracuse, New York right now. Okay. Anyway, not the Keith show. Let's go back to your question here. You have a W-2. How much is your take-home pay from the construction?
$12,000
per month. Damn, that's really good, Amy.
This year alone, between the business and my working, we'll make close to $400,000.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think that you're gonna get that amount of cash flow with your $300,000 of equity. You would have to literally just line up home runs with every single swing.
So far, we have.
I'm talking like huge home runs, dude. 12,000 a month.
So the house that we're living in right now, I bought it in 2014 for $65,000. It now appraises at over $350,000.
Okay.
And that's house, real property number 2.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not here to tell you that you didn't hit a home run on that, but what I'm really speaking about is the amount of cash flow that we're trying to replace with $300,000. Let's say that you're going to put 20% down on each house, so 300,000.
So I'll give you this scenario. We've been actually investing in single wide trailers.
Oh, good.
We have-
Yes, I love it.
Good. They have very low purchase entry.
Yes, your cash on cash
and
return is phenomenal. I looked at one today that is. I'm actually selling one. I'm owner financing my single. I have a single wide in Louisiana. I'll be wrapping that. Massive, amazing cash on cash return. Yeah, huge.
So the one trailer for $2,000. We put Oh, he's on. Okay, my better half's on. We
Where?
bought the one trip. My better half's on.
No, I don't see him.
1 second, let me see. Jake.
Yeah, I don't see him. Like I'm looking for a jacked dude like we talked about last time, but apparently his video is still broken. Haven't fixed it yet. Jake, have you?
Haven't been home yet.
Well, I've been in through all my stuff, and I can't get it to work on Zoom, but it'll work on everything else.
Well,
Let's
you just update Zoom, you silly.
No, I've been home to fix it. Remember, we live 4 hours away from each other.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you need to update Zoom. Maybe that would fix it, but
Yeah, if it works on everything else but not Zoom, then it has to be a software thing, not a hardware thing. There's nothing wrong with your webcam.
Crap, all the thing you have to fix, and I know how to fix it because I had it happen to me forever. And it's
Well, and until you fix it, I'm gonna keep giving you a hard time.
All right, sir, so you can understand where we're at in this conversation. Keith was basically saying for the equity that we have in the rock house, that we're not going to replace my income by refinancing it and getting the equity out of it, because we'd have to have more home runs to make up for my income that I'm making at the job.
oh, he's not wrong.
Let's see how close we can get. Let's analyze some fairly rough numbers. Talking about like a $120,000. What the? I cannot believe this. Who is doing that? This is unbelievable. All right. Which one of you freaking mother effers? Okay, cool. John, done. You're gone. Mother. My heart is racing. This pisses me off so bad.
I have something. My kid was right here, man.
Mamoon, I'm being 100% serious. I have this recorded, and you just said that. And so what that means is I'm going to find that person. We both know our private investigator that I have. He just committed a felony. If there's a minor present when that is being shown on a recorded call, that's a felony. Done. Donezo. I'm so mad right now. I'm ready to punch something. I'm so sorry. I let anybody on who wants to come. I'm here trying to help, answer questions, being a good freaking citizen. And people come on and doing stuff like that is. Let me report this to Zoom really quick. Offensive, illegal, or abusive. Include desktop screenshot. Yep, good. I got the screenshot. Beautiful. Submit.
Dang.
Our trust and safety team will send you an email about the meeting to learn more about this offense. Good. F that guy, man. This is the second time that's happened to me. The last time was last year, And fortunately, this time I knew how to stop it. And that makes me mad. I'm very sorry. That makes me so upset.
What do you do to turn that off, Keith? Like just kick him out?
Yeah.
Is that what you did? Okay.
Yeah. So first I had you guys on this little screen. So
Uh-huh.
your images are only about 2x1. They're really, really small. So I couldn't tell which one of these freaking retards was doing this. So I needed to pull
Right.
it over to the big screen, find the participant, open up all the
Right.
participants because there's people here with their video off and stuff like that. Find which
Yeah.
one was sharing their screen. I had to change a setting really quick to make sure that only hosts could share their screen. So
Okay.
that's why his screen stopped,
So
but then his video itself was
yeah.
another video, and
Right.
then I could clearly see who was doing that.
Right. So if you have it like no screen sharing turned
Wow,
on, then
look
people
at
can't
this.
do
This
that?
is
Is that
crazy.
correct?
Check this out. Violation warning, flagged for hate speech and hateful behavior. Like I'm live in a bunch of different places right now, and we're just going to say that somebody was showing some explicit material on my live show right now, and I'm the one who gets flagged for hate speech and hateful behavior.
That's ridiculous.
Well, sorry, maybe I overreacted. I don't know. I'll leave that for somebody else to judge because I don't think I did. Ooh, that upsets me a lot. Man, alive. All right, I don't remember where we were. Can somebody smarter than me remember for me, and we'll get right back on track?
You are gonna crunch numbers for Amy to see if she can quit her job. Like if using the equity on the 300,000,
Yeah.
would be able to come anywhere close to the 12,000 a month. Or yeah.
Cool. So $120,000. Let me put you all back here in the front so that I'm looking at you while I'm talking. $120,000 would be, in my opinion, a reasonable purchase price. This is kind of right around where I'm buying houses. Sometimes we'll buy them $60,000, $80,000. We'll put in $10,000 to $20,000 worth of rehab into them, and then and we're buying them with private money, and then you DSCR out. Now, if you wish to use your 401ks or your Roth, IRAs or whatever, if it's self-directed and you can, I don't have that luxury yet, and so I'm choosing to use private money for the purchase of these, and then what I'm doing is I'm DSCRing out of them. But let's just pretend like you're doing a DSCR purchase product rather than a DSCR cash out refinance product. In that case, 20% of 120, and I'm going 120 saying like, hey, you're probably not going to be getting my 60 to 80,000. It's probably going to be a little bit higher. And these houses, by the way, ARV probably right around 150 to 180. So 120 all in, 20%. That's $24,000. 20% of 120 is $24,000. Let's just call it 25. How many times does 25,000 go into 300? That is 12. If I'm doing my math right. Yep, that's 12 houses. So you could buy 12 houses. Now, what am I cash flowing average on each of my units? It's about $510 or $520 if we were to average my units up in Syracuse, New York. So let's just call it 500 to be safe. $500, and you have 12 of them. That's $6,000. You're halfway replaced, right? You're halfway to your financial freedom goal, where you can say, hey, I'm making super great money. This is fantastic, but it's now a what would the right word be? An opportunity cost to stay at my job because I can actually make better money outside. So that's those are honest to God, like this is where rubber meets the road. Those are like real numbers that I could see is feasible for you to hit. Maybe a little bit conservative, but not super conservative. What are your thoughts on this?
Rick, you want to chime in here?
I can chime in, but I've been busy, so I'm only getting bits and pieces, so I apologize up front. You're saying $500 per unit. That's in Syracuse?
Yeah, that's in Syracuse, New York. And by the way, this is net, meaning I'm out here renting these for $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, and then I'm taking 10% out for vacancy. I'm taking 10% out for management. I'm taking 10% out for repairs. I'm taking 5% out for capital expenditures. Then I'm taking out my PITIH, my debt service, and then I'm left with about $510 true net to me. This is, in my opinion, the best and really, frankly, the only way to run rental numbers. Too many people, they're not thinking about vacancy. They're not thinking about management. They're not putting money aside for capital expenditures or renovations. And they end up turning into a burnt out, tired landlord. And I shouldn't even say landlord. It should be slumlord, because your house isn't getting fixed every year, and every time you're turning over and leasing up new tenants, you're not fixing anything. It's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse with delayed maintenance on that house accruing with every year.
Well, that's true. I think we're in a very similar boat. We're making, depending on the unit we're doing, between 500 and 700 right now. 1, 2,
That's
3,
fantastic.
4 units are at least generating that plus.
And are we comparing apples to apples here? Are you doing 10% vacancy, 10% management, 10% maintenance, 5% capex?
Yes, we
This
take
is
about
exceptional.
20% right off the top.
You said 20%?
Yes.
Well, that's
we take
not
about 20%.
That's not quite
right off the top, and then add in the 10% for repairs throughout the year.
okay. So you're saying
So
10% before or after you get to that $500 to $700?
Before.
Okay, then you're great. That's wonderful. You're looking at 30% off the top, which is really healthy.
Give it a little bit, but yeah.
Good. That's real good. Okay, shoot.
And then on the real properties we own, way more than that. Each of the units we have are generating several thousand profit above cost.
Okay. Well, I mean, at this point, Jake, it sounds to me like you just need to find another $300,000 of equity and do that same plan twice.
Or more, yeah.
Done. Your wife's retired. She's home, bugging you and fixing your freaking camera.
Exactly. I mean, we've had phenomenal home runs on everything. We bought things extremely below the going rate.
Yeah.
We have several 500 to and up properties that we paid under 200 for.
Good for you. And that's real good.
We rent them out, they make good money. But what we need to do is we need to just get a bunch more of those deals and be able to fund them without pulling a bunch of our money out at a higher interest rates.
Yeah.
That just cost us more.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about before you got onto the call. Was you're gonna, this house right here is currently with at 5% with the seller, and I figure you're gonna be right around an 8%. It depends on your credit score, of course, and blah 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 blah. But you're gonna be right around an 8% with a DSCR. And your wife wasn't super concerned about this, but I am. You're resetting your amortization schedule, starting that 30-year clock over again, which she says, hey, I'm not worried about it. We're never going to sell it, which is wonderful. I don't care about that. The thing that I do care about is the first 7 to 10 years, depending on your interest rate. You really don't have much principal pay down during that time. You're more or less just a glorified renter. You don't really hit that principal pay down at an accelerated, like even rate until you're close to that 10-year mark, right? So if you're close to that, man, I have a really hard time justifying resetting that 30-year AM. And if you want to go something,
our struggle on that same thing too is that, like on our one place, it's at 650,000, and we only owe like 140 on it right now. But if we do the DSCR or the buyout on it, well, then we're going to have a higher interest rate. Because right now, I think we got a 4.5 on it. And
that's good.
Paying out $3,800 a month on that property. That is 5 times more than what we pay on it every month.
Yeah.
So it's hard to want to do that. So we need to find another way to generate investment money to do more of those kind of deals. Because I don't know whether you call it lucky or whatever, but we do a lot of work to find them.
Yeah.
Find those all over the place, but pulling out several $100,000 when we're not quite at that stage, it becomes difficult.
That's right. So here's the thing though, you're honestly super blessed to be stuck in this situation, because most of the time, and let me just like a little bit of credibility here, I hop on 2 calls every day with investors, and I have for almost the last 6 years. That's my time that I step away from building my real estate investing business to help other people build their real estate investing business. I do not hear very many people, Jake, in your situation. They're always in the opposite situation. They have high interest rates, they're not cash flowing, and they have no equity, and they're stuck, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to fix it. They're having a hard time. And so I just want you to say, to yourself, like, hey, I'm grateful for this situation, right? I'm stuck in the same freaking thing. We have 4.25% loans. That can be hard to balloon out right now and refinance. Who gets rich in that? The bank does. The bank does. And yeah, you get to pull out a whole bunch of your equity, and it feels like profit, right? Because it's cash in the bank. But at the end of the day, we both know that it's debt. And it also feels good because we're not paying taxes on that debt. However, that being said, it depends on what season of life that you're in. And I realize that we're talking about retirement. Most of the time we're talking about retirement as a time to be safe and protect assets. But in your guys' case, it almost actually seems the opposite. Like, hey, this seems to be like a time to scale and to buy a whole bunch of properties, like 25 or 30 different properties, because that's really going to be our retirement. And so potentially you don't care about the interest rates so much right now because your cash flow, so long as you buy it right. So long as you buy it right. And here's another thing. We talked about this whenever it was, a week or two ago, whenever the 3 of us hopped on a call. By the way, I'm sorry to, I'm going to put a pin on this really quickly. If y'all have a question, we've got quite a few people here. Cole, thanks for coming. Mamoon, thanks for being here and showing your face. Unlike Jake and Shaq and Jen and Richard. And thank you, Jen. I knew you'd be it. You also knew it was coming too. You see how quick that was? Jen used to be a private client of mine, so she knows that I give everybody a hard time if they don't have their video on. I do this like video thing because it's better than phones, because you can see me and I can see you, and we have a little bit of human connection and interaction that we don't when I'm just staring at a stupid J or an S. Thank you, Mr. Smith. I appreciate you, my friend. And you said, hold on, Carl, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Fantastic, man. That's a big win for me. I have a terrible memory. If any y'all who know me know that I have an awful memory. Somehow I just remembered that from last week. Okay. Going back to what I was saying is, if you have a question, just raise your hand, right? Yeah, shut up, Richard. Yes, you do. You're going to be easier on the eyes than I am. All right. So go ahead and turn your freaking video on. You're not going to be ugly enough like Jake was to break his camera. So you just turn it on, you'll be fine. My dad used to say that all the time. He'd say, "You're so ugly, you break the mirror. Better be careful looking at it." Shout out to my dad. Anyway, I don't even know Jake. I haven't even met Jake, but one of these days we're going to meet in person. I'm going to give him a big old hug, and he might just decide to knee me in the groin instead, give me a dead leg or something.
Oh, no, this is just like my family.
All right, good. So if you have a question, just raise your hand. Not for real on Zoom. I had a lady who she didn't know how to raise her hand on Zoom, so she stood there like this. She was 81 years old. She ended up tracing her hand on cardboard, pasting it to a popsicle stick, and then holding it up. She's one of my favorite people ever. Her name is Lily. She's one of my Ohana, my Hawaii family. I lived there for 5 years. She's absolutely wonderful. Her and her daughter are clients of ours in Aria Automated. All right, so I know it sounds a little bit counterintuitive what I'm saying, but hear me out. Typically, as you're retiring, people are thinking about settling down, slowing down, and being safe. Those are the 3 S's: settling down, slowing down, and being safe. The thing that they're not trying to do is scale. However, it may be justified in your guys' case if you have significant equity in 2 properties. This may actually be really good, really the thing that liberates you. You know, I'm gonna step away for like 30 seconds because my son, I think, has a neighbor over, and they're playing basketball in his room with the door open, and it's super distracting. Y'all probably can't hear him, but I've got a bunch of microphones in here that probably can. So I'm gonna step out. I'll be right back.
That's all right.
Fair.
Love you.
Them's kids for you.
I'm being lovey attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so where's everybody located at?
I'm originally from Florida. I live in Indiana now, though.
Oh, you chose wrong, Cole. You chose
I know,
wrong.
man.
Great state of Florida, best state in the nation.
I know, it's so hot, though.
It is. You're not wrong, man. Dude, but Indiana is freezing in the winter.
Absolutely.
Frigid.
It's quite a change.
Yeah,
I never seen
dude.
snow before moving here, so it's definitely quite a change. Yeah.
Man, have you crashed yet?
Almost. I almost did. Yeah, on the highway, you're going too fast and like where they like plow the snow.
Black ice,
like,
man. That
yeah.
stuff kills. I wiped out my car in front of a semi truck when I lived in Virginia, and fortunately he locked up his brakes and he slid for a very long time. He jackknifed his trailer actually in order to not hit me. And he was sliding. He didn't mean to do that, right? He's sliding in the snow as well, and somehow, by the grace of God, he didn't hit me.
That's because we don't see snow up here that often.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. But I'm originally from California. There's no snow at all. And so if you remember, it was the year my daughter was born. So 2016, there was that Snowmageddon. Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, dude.
My
That
vacation.
wrecked the DMV area. And you know what? That was the day that I decided, today would be a great day to go into the woods and go hunting. What?
You couldn't get to the woods.
No, I could in the beginning when it wasn't snowing, and then while I was out there, it started snowing. We were like,
Oh,
we
you
should
were
probably
already
get back. Yeah, we should probably get back to the vehicle, right? By the time we got back to the car, there was like an inch of snow. But by the time we got like down to the main roads and we're not on game trails and stuff, which took like 2 hours just to get out of there because we couldn't see the freaking trail. We're going to the woods and we're like, I don't know if I'm actually on the road right now. I had to actually pull out not my phone GPS, but like you guys remember those Garmin I don't know if anybody does like hunting or like backwoods or any of those weird like where you go out and find things. But we used to be really big in that. So I actually had that Garmin GPS, and that's how I navigated out of the woods. Thank God, because the whole back azimuth crap that they teach you in the Marines was not going to get me out of those woods.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into it. What you said Jake had a question?
Well, my question is, and it's not really a question, it's more like a statement, open-ended, which is, we've done home runs, we've bought everything at very good prices with very low APRs and done a lot of owner carries, and we've done those things so that we have high amounts of cash flow, but we're not anywhere close to retirement or cash outs or anything like that. I'd still like to be doing this for another 20 years and double or triple at least the operation.
Yeah. Okay. Easy. Put more money into marketing and start making more phone calls.
Well, we don't have a problem finding the places. In fact, I just went and looked at several of them today
I heard.
To see, and out of the 4, only one of them I think is going to be a good cash flowing deal. But you know, it's that initial generating of money that we seem to struggle with, because we get cash flow,
Yeah.
but unless we sit there and save up and then make a purchase and save up and then make a purchase, we need to have alternate form of money generation.
Well, do you hold every property that you do? Is every deal that you do a rental?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, switch it up. Do 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 2. Meaning,
Flip.
yeah, we're not really in a flip environment, by the way, right now. So I would maybe suggest, instead of flipping, let me explain this. The best time to flip is when the market is hot and it's appreciating. And right now, the market is not hot, nor is it appreciating. In Florida, it's super depreciating, actually. In most of the markets across the United States, they're more or less flatlined. We have a very stale market where there's a lot of uncertainty on where we're going. And I don't really care what your political views are or where you are with wars or cryptocurrency or S&P. It doesn't matter to me. I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of uncertainty within buyers and sellers right now. There's a whole bunch of people who want to sell their home. However, they're priced out with interest rates. They can't move to a different house because the interest rates are significantly higher than where they are right now. So they would have to take a huge lifestyle cut because they can't afford to live in the house that they would want to. Or maybe the seller is fine with all of those things. Maybe they have the cash to put into it. Their monthly payment's going to be low, even with a high interest rate. The problem is the buyer doesn't know if they want to be on the hook for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 at 6.75%, because they're stretched thin. They're stretched very, very tight on their finances. So I don't believe that right now is the time to be flipping houses. I'm not flipping houses.
I would agree with that, which is why we have it, but I would beg to be able to buy low, which I think is coming up there shortly.
Oh, I mean, Jake, the fields are ripe for the harvest right now. I mean, I am here to tell you, and I feel like I have a validity to stand on, seeing as I myself have done deals in 34 states and I own 6 different software companies, and I get to see everybody's data. The fields are ripe for harvest. Right now, I'm seeing more and more. Go see for yourself. You don't have access to my data, but you have access to Zillow. Go to Boise, Idaho, where y'all live, and just look at houses, and you're going to see price reduction, price reduction, price reduction, price reduction, price reduction, price reduction. You're not going to be able to not see a price reduction on your screen. I guarantee you.
Oh, no, you're right. We do all that. We've seen the prices going down, 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 down.
Yeah.
Some of them as much as 20% or more.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And we have a software, by the way. Shameless plug. Oh, check it out. I'm ready for this one. You know how that crazy idiot was sharing his screen and promoting whatever he wanted to promote? I have a cool way of promoting my thing. Does this? Oh, it doesn't work for the live. That's funny. Maybe it will work. Let me try something, actually. Now you're on my other camera, and it seems to be working pretty good, right? Like, this looks good? Well, shoot. Sorry. I had you on my nasty camera, like my old webcam, like Jake would love to have. And now we have a good camera that actually is, pleasing to the eye. Anyway, so if you're interested at all with Deal Labs is our on-market lead generation software. You can get it for $1. It's literally $1 for the first 28 days. Then after that, there's two different plans: $50 per month and $100 per month. If you're familiar with things like Batch Dialer or Prop Stream or RealFlow or things like, they're all $100, right? So we've undercut them by half. Our what would you call our flagship, whatever, our normal one is $50. It's super cheap. And then if you want the highest end with all the whiz bang, sexy high speed low drag features that I won't spend any time trying to sell you on, go to the website www.deallabs.ai. That's $100 a month. It's fantastic. So what it does is it finds the diamonds in the rough, because you can go on to Zillow and you can scroll until you finally find the diamond in the rough. So you think you find the diamond in the rough, but as soon as you actually analyze the deal, you realize this doesn't pan out. It will analyze the deal for you before you get there. And it's going to have the right numbers when it analyzes the deal too. This way, you don't spend a whole bunch of stupid time being wasted. Inefficiently searching for deals. So you can we pick up on things like that, like, hey, there's a huge price reduction, 20%, like Jake just said, or there's a series of smaller consecutive price reductions. They reduce it 5,000, then they reduce 15,000, then they reduce it another 10,000, and then they reduce it another 12,000, whatever. And it's like, dude, you've brought down the price now 7 different times over the last 6 months. Do you think that person is motivated? Yes. And could you pitch terms to them?
Yes.
Absolutely. And then Jake specifically is talking to you and Amy. Then we wouldn't want to flip it, but how else could we get big pops of cash into our bank account?
You're not gonna wrap.
Yeah, why not?
You can do a bunch of those.
I
We've purchased that
love
before.
wraps. I love wraps. Say you're going to give the seller $5,000 to walk away. I mean, I'm here to tell you guys, we're seeing every day sellers are willing to walk away for $500 to $1,000. Just take over my mortgage. Now, sometimes you do have to catch them up. Sometimes they're $2,000, $5,000, $8,000 behind. So your nut is still $10,000, right? You still have to bring $10,000. That's your barrier of entry in order to get into this. But $10,000 to control an asset that's worth $300,000, and then you can go around and you can sell that $300,000 house. Cindy, thanks so much for coming. You can sell that $300,000 house. You can expect to get somewhere between 8 to 15% as a down payment. 10% what I, like to conservatively think about. So what's 10% of 300,000? 30,000. What's your barrier of entry? 10,000. 30,000 in, 10,000 out. What's the difference? $20,000. Y'all have just put $20,000 into your bank account, and it's going to cash flow better than all of your rentals. Promise. So if your rentals are currently cash flowing $500 to $700 per month, and you can expect $700 to $900 per month, maybe even $1,100. I underwrote a deal today. It was $1,070. It was $1,070 of cash flow on this wrap. We were burying $1,465. So that was I had to put in $1,465, but there was $83,000 of equity. So I'm paying $1,465 for a note with $83,000 of equity that was throwing off $1,070 of cash flow per month. Is there anybody who would do that deal?
Yes.
Absolutely. You break even month 1.5. You're making money literally on that second payment. We analyze this. Somebody can go quote me and whatever. There's gonna be a whole bunch of people watching this replay and stuff. That was over an 800% cash on cash return, because you're bringing in roughly $13,000. If I remember correctly, it was $12,900 and something over the course of the year, right? Because the cash flow is $1,070. You take $1,070 times 12, it's going to be almost $1,300. You divide that by the $1,465 that you're putting into it. It was like an 880% cash on cash return. Dude, I'm happy with a 30% cash on cash return. I would have buried $10,000 is what I'm saying. I would have buried 10 to get 13 because that 3 is 30% of the 10. Happy, easy peasy. I'm great. I get my money back in a year? Absolutely. I'll do that all day, every day. Now, here's the thing, though. 800%, that is not seen very often. This was one of the best notes, and this is already under contract, y'all, with a wholesaler, with great terms. You can turn around and wrap that. Yes, we're burying $1,500, but can every single one of us put $1,500 into a deal? Yes, and if you said no to yourself just now, you can. Any one of us will lend you $1,500 to be a part of this deal, right? Double my money in a day. All right.
Put your fee on that, no problem.
Yeah, you can find $1,500, even if you don't have it yourself. All right, how are we doing? What questions do y'all have?
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Mr. Carl, go for it, my friend.
Okay, so with that deal that you just told us about, how do you go about finding somebody to, lease it or rent it to pay the note every month?
Easy. I'm actually doing this right now. As we speak. It's 7 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. As we speak, we're right in the middle of an open house in Chauvin, Louisiana.
You're showing it to people now.
Yeah, right now. While I'm on with you, I have people walking one of my owner financed houses. So this is what I do because Meta is a I already got banned on TikTok today, so I'm going to try to watch my mouth. But if you can spell really fast, it's a COMMUNIST. I mean, it's the worst when it comes to running ads. So I've gotten banned on Marketplace because of whatever, like false and misleading information, because I sell too many houses. I can't list my houses on Facebook Marketplace. If you can, that is absolutely bar none the easiest way to sell owner finance houses. You may not believe me, but I'm here to tell you I've sold more houses on Facebook than I have anywhere else. And this is my this is my fourth time getting banned on Meta. We call it getting zucked, right? It's Zuckerberg. It's a joke on his last name. I got zucked. So this is my first time getting put in Facebook jail. So here's what I do. I run Meta ads. It's really easy. You come up with a listing description. You can use Claude to figure out everything, and I show this to my private clients, by the way. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. If any one of you want to become private clients, I'll personally share my screen with you and show you how to do this and give you the blueprint that you can literally copy and paste. Of course, you'd have to change your listing description, but all the settings, all of the audiences, right? When you're building your audience, you have to think through, who is my avatar? Who am I trying to attract to this listing? How am I framing this listing to get as many people as possible to walk this house? So I started, today's Friday. I started it 3 days ago, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. I started these ads on Wednesday. It's $25 per day. And I have, I think it was 26 people right before I clicked to come into this Zoom room. I had 26 people who were showing up either today from 5 to 7, so Friday, 5 to 7 p.m., or tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon. I have 2 different showing times. I'm not there. I texted the neighbors really quick right before going live saying, hey, you're going to have a whole bunch of people parking, in front of the house. It's totally fine. They're supposed to be there. I'm sorry if they end up parking in front of your house. They'll be gone within just 2 hours. I'm on good terms with both of the neighbors. And then I don't talk numbers. A lot of them will want to talk numbers. How much is the down payment? How much are you selling it for? And so the listing, it really is a little bit vague. I say like the number was 715. Monthly payments as low as $715. And people are like, in this area, they're like, whoa, that is super cheap. Rent in that area is probably around 1,000, maybe 1,050, 1050. And so $715 is really affordable. Oh, Amy, this is the single wide mobile home that I'm wrapping. It's a half an acre on the bayou, like waterfront, like literally it has 2 docks. Single wide mobile. We put about $15,000 to $20,000 into that.
On owner land, not in a park.
Yeah. I own the land. It's not in a park.
Have you wrapped one in a park?
No, I've never wrapped them in a park. I don't like dealing with mobile homes in a park. Actually, frankly I hate it. At that point, you are literally, in my opinion, flipping cars. You're legally flipping a vehicle. It has a VIN number and everything. It hasn't been detitled and strapped down and attached to real property. So if I wanted to flip cars, then I would flip probably a 1965 Mustang or something like that. I wouldn't be flipping a single wide mobile home.
2006 Mustang.
2006. Is that actually what you have?
Mhm.
Okay, what color is it?
Silver convertible.
That's fantastic. You literally, when I was in 5th grade, I created my first vision board. And on that vision board was a 2005, so it's the same body style, Mustang GT, except it was a white convertible. I really like that body style and still do to this day. But I would never own one. I would never own one. I did rent one on Turo just to experience my childhood dream. And I also wanted, for whatever stupid reason, I wanted a Hummer. I don't know if you all have driven a Hummer, but they're like literally the most dysfunctional and not spacious vehicles you've ever driven. Like, they're not pleasant to drive. It wasn't a comfortable ride. I literally prefer my Toyota Highlander over that Hummer, even though obviously, of course, Hummers look way nicer. Man, I literally choked on my water there. Cole, what you got, brother?
Yeah, so I have a question. I'm obviously like probably comparison to everybody else in here. I'm super duper new to this, but my question was kind of this. So I was looking on kind of like different paths to scale like portfolio, and I was wondering because I know through a conventional status you'll get better rates, but you only have like a max of about 10 units before they cap you, and then you basically have to do DSCR. So my question would be, would it be better for your first initial properties to go for like kind of a lower payment, lower interest rate with conventional loans to scale until you max out and then do DSCR, or would it be just better to kind of eat the higher payment and like a little bit higher rates through DSCR and scale that way so it doesn't hit like your DTI? You know what I mean?
Dude, there are so many people that argue about this in Reddit forums and stuff. You're gonna hear like the most conflicting advice ever on this topic. The majority of it is gonna be like, well, with a DSCR, at least you're vesting it in an LLC or a trust, and with a conventional loan, of course, that's going to be in your personal name. It's your personal guarantee. At the end of the day, the DSCR is also personally guaranteed, and so I feel like that doesn't hold as much merit. Then other people are going to argue, of course, conventional is be better, like FHA, for example. You're bringing much less to the table, 3.5%, 5%. With true conventional 10 to 20%, whereas DSCR is always going to be 15 to 20%. All right, Amy, thanks so much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you. So there's definitely two trains of thoughts, and I'll kind of say the same thing that I said to Amy to you right now, which is there is no right or wrong. It is simply right or left. And so for you, what you need to do is educate yourself on both pros and cons, right, of the DSCR Pro and then the conventional pro, and the DSCR con and the conventional con, because there's quite a bit, to be honest. Here's what I like to do personally. I like to buy the houses with private money because it's super fast, it's super easy, it's minimal paperwork, it's high interest rates. We're talking 8% at a minimum and 12% at a maximum for me personally, the money that I've raised through private money. So it's high interest rates. However, it's only high interest rates for 6 to 12 months. At that point, I'm going to put in a renter, and I'm going to do a DSCR exit. Or potentially, I just do a quick DSCR refinance, and then I wrap my own note. So I have DSCR as the underlying, and then I wrap it to an end buyer. Or best yet, Cole, is the debt is never in your name. It's subject to the seller's existing financing. It literally has built-in financing. Like the deal is not just the house, it's the house and the financing. I like that. Let's do one better than that, because that has an interest rate. What if it was owned free and clear, there was no mortgage, and we got the seller to accept owner financing to us at 0% interest? That's the real bangers, dude. And so the more people you talk to, the more dissenting opinions you're going to get. There's going to be people who are really strongly opinionated about this, really strongly opinionated about this. Here's what I'll leave you with, though. You know what kind of screwdriver this is?
Yeah, it's a Phillips.
It's a Phillips head screwdriver. Behind me, I have a light outlet, like a wall outlet, like a regular old wall outlet. And I know I just had an electrician come in and redo some stuff, because on the other side of this wall is my master closet, and I wanted some outlets in my master closet. So he tied it into that outlet, and when he took it off, he had a Phillips head screwdriver on his drill, but he had to change it. He had to change it because the nut that holds it there, just like all of them, they're not Phillips. They're all flatheads. They're always flatheads. So does that make this Phillips head screwdriver a bad screwdriver, or a wrong screwdriver, or a terrible tool? It's obsolete, it's old, it's antiquated. No, not at all. It just means that it's the wrong tool for that job. DSCR, it's the tool for some of the jobs. FHA, VA, conventional, USDA, that's the tool for other jobs. Private money, hard money, that's the tool for other jobs. Sub 2, the seller's existing financing, owner financing, a hybrid of both, that's going to be another tool for other jobs. And so how I look at all of this, by the way, Cole, is that there's certain ways to enter into deals. We call these entrance strategies. And there's ways that we exit out of deals. We call those exit strategies. So there's all these different entrance strategies that I just talked about. And then there's different exit strategies. We talked about some of them on the call today. There's wholesaling and wholetailing and retailing and wrapping and renting and novations and lease options and a whole bunch of different stuff over here. So what we can do is we can pair one entrance strategy with one exit strategy. And how many different total combinations is there? There's a bunch. And that's why real estate investing for me is fun, because it's like a puzzle. Which strategy is going to be best? I look at every single deal the exact same way. There's 5 factors. There's the needs of the seller. There's the needs of me personally. There's the needs of my business. There's the highest and best use of the property. And there's the market conditions. Where are we in the market cycle? I'll go over each one of these very, very briefly, and then I'll turn it over back to you to ask any follow-on questions. First is the needs of the seller. If the seller needs to go buy a house right now, or God forbid, they're actually in escrow to buy a house right now, I can't take a sub 2. I'll screw up their loan, because they have to see that I have made payments on their behalf, so that the underwriter for their new loan we'll say, oh, somebody else is taking care of that. We're going to count 80% of it, so that they're only on the hook for 20%. That's how we get out of that. So that's just one example of the needs of the seller. But if the seller is going to rent, can we take a sub 2? Certainly. What if there is no equity? Am I going to try to do a hybrid or owner financing? No, there's no equity to speak of. So we may need to do something different. Sometimes these box us in with our exit strategies as well. So there's the needs of the seller. Then we have the needs of me personally. I come next. Well, sometimes I like to spend a lot of money. Case in point, I just bought this house. It's way more expensive than than I thought. Some of the times I like to go on a trip. And when I go on a trip, my wife is she's an expensive date. Okay. So sometimes I need a lot of money. Don't tell her I said that. Then there's the needs of, so sometimes I need cash and sometimes I need cash flow. Sometimes I'm totally fine and I'm like, hey, I don't really need $30,000 right now. I'd rather take the $1,500 of cash flow, right? Needs of me comes next. Then we have the needs of my business. Sometimes my business is doing fine. We have plenty of cash reserves. We don't have a huge looming bill. Other times, though, frankly, I'm strapped for cash and I'm worried, how in the world am I going to make payroll in July? So sometimes I need that cash in my business. Or we have these really big marketing expenses that we want to do because we want to scale up. And I need to hire somebody, or I need to give somebody a bonus, or like a sign-on bonus or something like this. So the needs of the seller, needs of me, the needs of my business. Next is highest and best use of that property. Some of the times we leave it just as it sits. Some of the times we have to totally change the configuration of that house. Maybe it's a 2-bedroom house and it should be a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house. So we pop the top, or we blow out the back, or we dig out the bottom. Right? There's a whole bunch of different things that we can do to the configuration of the house. Maybe we straight up tear it down, Cole, and we don't even, it's no longer even residential real estate. We rezone that sucker, put it as mixed use, and we turn that into like a commercial thing. So what is the highest and best use of the property? Lastly, the fifth factor is what is the market telling us we should do? The market is in cycles, right? You have a buyer's market, you have a seller's market. You have a buyer's market, you have a seller's market. We have appreciating markets and depreciating markets. Then there's also localized markets, meaning are people moving there or are people evacuating? People are evacuating New Jersey right now. People are evacuating California. People are evacuating New York. Where are they going? People are moving into Texas. People are moving into Florida. Believe it or not, people are moving all over the Midwest. So there's localized markets as well, not just the United States as a whole. We need to take a global perspective. We need to take a national perspective. We need to take a local perspective. Where are we in the market cycle? Those 5 factors are going to tell me what is the best entrance strategy and what is the best exit strategy. And now that I know what is the best entrance and the best exit, that is the key that unlocks that deal. Some of the times it's going to be DSCR, Cole. Some of the times it's going to be FHA. Some of the times it's going to be hard money and private money. Some of the times it's going to be sub 2, owner finance, or a hybrid of both. Also, and I'll conclude with this one sentence, there's going to be people who say, you should wholesale it. And there's other people who's going to say, you need to retail this. You have to flip it. There's other people, you have to rent this. At the end of the day, there's no right or wrong. You take all those factors in, you determine your entrance, you determine your exit. That's the key that unlocks the deal. What you got? Cole first, and then anybody, if you have any questions, follow-on questions, secondary questions, go ahead and ask.
I mean, you put that beautifully, man. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's great.
I appreciate you. Anybody got any secondary questions? Or totally off, different topic? We can switch topics if y'all want.
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you mentioned hard money. Is that like one of your last strategies to try and use hard money just because the interest rates are so high and it's
I'm not opposed to hard money because of the interest rates. The reason why I don't like hard money is because they make me give up my left leg and my firstborn son if anything goes wrong. I dislike that. I'm on the hook, not just for that property, but everything in my portfolio and everything that's in other portfolios. They have outrageous, overreaching. It's a trip to me. Some of the things that they put in writing, and I strongly dislike that. And here's what I will tell you, Carl, is just because it's in writing and just because you signed it doesn't make it legal. And so some of the things that I've actually signed, I'm like, if it actually comes down to this, like if this goes south, there's no way it's going to hold up in court. Right? You can't come after my homesteaded property if this goes into foreclosure.
Yeah.
So why are you making me sign this? You know how fast people would sign a petition to get you like any attorney that is going to pick that up on contingency is going to get debarred. It's like, this is crazy. Done. Jen's an attorney. She's like, done. They're toast. You'd be ridiculous. I don't know why they would have you sign that document. I know full and well that's illegal. Illegal. Like, we're not even talking about ethical or moral values here. You cannot strip my house from me when it's a homesteaded property that I own. So those are some things that I dislike about the hard money. It's not the interest rates. I don't think that the interest rates are too terrible. Yeah, sometimes it's 12% and 3 points, or 13% and 4 points, or whatever. At the end of the day, if you can't pay those numbers, negotiate a better deal. We all need to work on our deal structure and negotiations anyway. And so the best deals that I've done are the ones that really, I was in a pinch. I really needed to close on this. It was a 7-day close. It was an 8-day close. It was an 11-day close. I needed cash and I needed it super, super fast. Not me, the seller, right? And so who did I go to? I went to a hard money lender. Why? Because speed matters. Let me tell you something. You know what the most expensive word in the English language is?
Time.
No, not time, but you're on the right track there. It's a little 3-letter word, not a 4-letter word. The most expensive word in the entire English language. I promise, bar none, nothing else comes close to touching it.
I don't know.
It's the word now.
Oh, yeah.
I need it now.
Yeah.
Whenever there's speed involved, it always comes at a cost. No matter what it is, right? I wanted some guy to come in, and we've had an electrician over here, we've had a paver over here, we've had a painter over here, we've had a drywaller over here, and I'm like, we're leaving for this trip, right? Me and my wife like to travel and such, so I was just in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee, and like 5 weeks ago, and then I went to Tampa 2 weeks ago, and the next week we're going to Nashville. We're doing all these travel things, and I am like horribly what's the right word? Irresponsible. Like, I have a hard time planning tomorrow. That's what I commit to. I'll plan tomorrow. Like, next week is gonna have to deal with itself. Like, I'll deal with it when I get there. Okay, don't bother me about tomorrow. I mean, anything after tomorrow. And so, I'm making calls to an electrician or to a plumber or to a drywaller or to a painter. Hey, can you come out tomorrow? No, I can't come out tomorrow. Well, I need you to come out tomorrow, dude, because I'm actually leaving day after tomorrow. No, that's the first time I'm available, and I'll call 12, 13, 14, 15 people.
Not unless your last name is Musk. Elon, first name Elon.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So anyway, I had to pay a little bit extra, right, to get somebody to come out now, after work, today. Can you come? Can you swing by today after work? Yeah, but it's going to cost you. Okay, but how much is it going to cost me? $40 extra. All right, fine. Do it. Get out here. Hurry up. I don't know why you're not here yet. So that's why hard money is good, man, because they can work on a tight timeline. They're prepared. They have systems. Everybody is working in sync. They're all working in harmony, and it's like the gears are greased, So speed comes at a cost.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. Miss Judy, Mr. Richard, y'all have been really quiet. Miss Jen, I actually haven't really got to talk to you much. You guys have anything?
No, I don't think anything specific, but thanks.
All right. What about something general?
Well, let's see. Just trying to really get back into the swing of things and get wholesaling back on track. Any quick tips to fast track my progress?
Yeah, what are you doing for marketing right now? And how many calls did you make in the last 7 days?
Not as much. I have a lot of leads and I haven't been able to get to a ton of them. But that is my first step. But is there anything I'm missing beyond that?
Do you know how to do?
mean,
Okay, so
right.
you mentioned wholesaling, correct? Did I hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Correct.
like I think that's a fundamental flaw. Let me give you a really quick principle here. If I came to you and I said, Judy, I've got this friend who wants me to sell. He's selling his business. It's worth about $1 million. I have a friend who's selling me his business. It's worth about $1 million. He's willing to sell it to me for $300,000. Should I do it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's a DVD rental business.
If the numbers check out, obviously.
Sure. But there's $700,000 of equity. We're buying this thing at 30 cents on the dollar. So far, so
Right.
good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a DVD rental business. Now, what are your thoughts?
Not so much.
It's a newspaper printing business. What are your thoughts?
Not so much.
Okay. So I'm not saying that wholesaling is dead because it's not. I just wholesaled a couple houses this year. Yeah, that's correct. That's a true statement. But wholesaling is very regulated. It's under the spotlight. There's lots of negative press. There's lots of lawsuits. Jen says it's on its way out. I tend to agree.
I'm a wholesaler, Judy. I'm a wholesaler.
I tend to agree.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, Judy, my question to you is question 1. Ready? There's going to be 3 questions, potentially a 4th follow-up. Question number 1. Do you know how to execute a novation?
I don't.
Okay, great.
I danced around the education of it, but I don't know enough about it.
Do you know how to execute a wrap?
Oh, about the same.
Okay. Do you hold any rentals?
I do not.
Cool. I'm about to change your life on a fundamental level if you're willing to put in the work. It's going to take about 15 hours. Are you willing to commit 15 hours to doing something? It's pretty easy. But it's going to take 15 hours.
Okay.
Worth it?
Like 15 hours in the next week? Or
yes, 15 hours in the next week.
Okay.
Is that doable?
Yep.
Okay, great. Then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make your day. I think I'm going to make your day. Let me open up my file. I got to get this prepared next time so that I'm not sitting here trying to click around and find this thing. Here we go. Here is my deal structure dictionary course. And I want you to go through it in the next week. Now, when you click on that link, it is going to send you to a sales page. And it's going to say that you owe me $47. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't make me a bad person. It's totally worth $47. I paid several $1,000s to get the information that you're going to learn in that $47 course. The $47 is so that you will actually watch it. Because a lot of people, when they pay attention. Right? So that's why I sell this course. Now, you have graciously blessed me with your time, your presence, and your attention on my live today. And so I want to thank you for showing up. When you get to that page, you don't owe me anything. What you're going to do instead is you're going to put in that promo code. That promo code is going to get it to you for free. So you're going to click on the link. It's going to go to a checkout page. That's going to get added to your cart. Open up your cart. It's going to say you owe $47. Instead, before you check out, there's like a coupon or a promo code. I don't know exactly what it says because I don't set up my sales pages. But then you put in that promo code live QA, and you'll get it for free. For just thanks for showing up today. And it's going to take you about 15 hours to complete that course. You are going to be drinking from a fire hose because this is every entrance strategy and every exit strategy that I know of. And all the pros and cons of when you would use it and why.
Got it.
So here's my thank you, Jen. I appreciate you. One day I'm going to give you a hug.
It's true.
I want you to know, Judy, that this is a lot of information, and it's going to be hard going through. It's easy just listening to me talk because I'm very charismatic. I'm super good looking, and so hopefully it's not going to be too terrible. I'm totally joking. But here's the thing: it's actually hard to retain all the information. So what I want you to do is I want you to take copious amounts of notes and very modest. That's right. Thank you, Jen. I want you to take copious amounts of notes and I'll give you this deal. And this is a live, it's not only recorded, but there's also witnesses that will attest that I said this. If you finish this course, today is Friday. It's almost 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you finish this course between now and next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will give you a second course absolutely for free because at this point, you've shown me that you're willing to invest in yourself. So now I'm willing to invest in you as well. Does that make sense?
All right. Totally. That's very generous of you. Thank you.
Cool. You're very welcome. All right. So pop quiz. What is your action steps and your timeline?
15 hours and finish this course by next Friday. And hit that link and take the course and make plenty of notes.
Great. Fantastic. I'm so glad that I asked you that question because there's one thing that you missed. It's not your fault. It's mine because I totally forgot to tell you. All you have to do once you're done with that course and you're ready to get your second free course, just send me an email. That's all you have to do. Keith@reiautomated.io. My email is in the course, matter of fact. So Keith@reiautomated.io, just like up here on the wall. Send me an email. Super short, super sweet. Hey, Keith, I finished the course. Can I get my second one for free? Judy. And then we can, if you want to book a call with me, we can talk it through. We can say basically what I like to do on calls like that is identify your core constraint. The not very nice way, that's not politically correct way of saying that is, what do you suck at? What do you suck at that I can help with, right? Once we identify your core constraint, we're fixing the right problem. We're fixing the right problem. And that's how we can get you back on track. Not wholesaling houses, but at least you'll be making money.
Yep, that's my goal.
Cool. All right, fantastic. Are you glad that you asked your general question now?
Yeah, who knew?
Good. So am I. Thanks for coming to the call today.
Something about single wide trailers that you guys talked about, but I'll concentrate on this.
Okay, fabulous. Mr. Richard, if you're able to, I'd love to answer a question that you have as well. Let's keep giving some free stuff out, will you? If you don't mind, ask a good one. No pressure or anything. There's only 40,000 people watching our live videos, so don't say anything super dumb. And certainly don't share your screen with any nastiness on it. I'm going to have to cut out that whole section. All right, Richard. Golly, nobody doesn't want to turn his camera on. Come off mute. That's all right. Love you anyway. All right. Richard, thanks for being here. Judy, thanks for asking your questions. Jake, one day I'll meet you in person. I'll give you a big hug and apologize for all the heckling I've given you. And Mr.
I hope not. I'm not being apologizing for that.
I like having fun. I feel like the more you heckle, the more you have fun. At least that's my personality. And
my family was, if you don't heckle, you don't care.
I like that one. That's a good quote. Yeah, I was gonna say something, but it's not appropriate. Who's next? Carl, thanks for showing up. Carl, did you ask a question? Did I get to answer your question and serve you somehow today?
Yeah, I asked you about the hard money and something else.
That's right. Fantastic. All right. It's my mission that every single person who shows up to these live calls gets an answer before I bounce. And since we've gone through everybody, I realize that we're at the 90-minute mark. But I'm going to go hang out with my wife and kids. There's still this party going on downstairs. And so I'm going to go eat some good food. Y'all have a fantastic Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Remember to do something that fills your cup and makes you smile, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And if you want to stay primed and ready for your family and for your business, you have to be full, right? A cup that's full, a cup that overfloweth. So make sure you're taking care of your mind. Make sure that you're taking care of your spirit. Make sure that you're taking care of your body. Drink water, plenty of walks, lots of sleep, all the things that we tend to neglect as entrepreneurs. And so I'll just give you that friendly reminder. I don't know why I felt called to say that, but hopefully somebody needed to that today. You guys have an awesome one. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. God bless. Bye.